Hey YouTube, this is part 3, talking about what's in my pack and how I divide it up between my truck and my backpack and what's on my hip, things like that. If you're coming late, please check out my other 2 videos. You'll kind of wonder what all this big mess is on the floor, and I can explain it to you more thoroughly. So anyway, what I was saying was, at the end of part 2, excuse me, I need another drink. What would happen, since I live in a tornado area here in Indiana, what would happen if a tornado came and tore off the house right off from above my head, we're in the basement, and took my truck? My truck is now flipped over and down the street, upside down. Doors are jammed. Maybe it's jammed up against a house and there's something on top of it, and let's say I can't get my gear out of my truck. I'm only going to have one pack with me. Probably that's going to be in the house if I knew something was coming. So I already lost one pack. Right there, that tub filled with good gear would be locked or lodged or destroyed, or maybe my truck went end over end and everything came out the windows, and all that gear right there that you see right here is all over God's creation. So that means I have to have a good backup plan, that I have to have my triple redundancy in these packs. Okay? So try to have multiple packs. This is a worst case scenario backpack situation. Okay, I've designed this into all the creature comforts, all the basics I would need. If it's cord to hang up my tarps or my tent, if it's water purification to keep my family safe, if it's medicines in case we're sick, if it's traps to try to find some food if the food I have runs out. There's hunting implements here to also hunt food down. Ways to start fire, purify my food, my water, cook my food, stay warm, dry out my clothes, cooking implements, I mean, you name it, flashlights for the nighttime, knives, all the stuff I can also trade. Since I have so much of it, I don't mind losing 2 lighters or 3 lighters because I have probably 8 or 9 magnesium strikers. So I don't have to worry about not having fire. Plus, I also have 2 magnifying glasses in here. I also have a striker here. You name it, I have waterproof matches. All this stuff I can swap out and make some profit out of when everything falls apart and get something else that I might need more important. So anyway, just to give you an idea, this is the kind of stuff you probably should have. Doesn't have to be all matching gear, as you can see. I just piecemealed it as I went for years and years and years and keep adding to the kit. What you got to remember is, what is your kit going to be used for? Here's when you get into kit mentality. Am I making a kit for a disaster? Am I making a kit for hitting the road because a nuclear bomb is coming? I'm just, throwing some weird ideas at you. Am I making a kit because martial law, as you keep hearing in all these videos, people are getting their bug out bag and they're going to hit the road, and which is a ridiculous idea anyway, which I'll probably have to go into in another video. Maybe I'll just go into it right now. Let's see, what else would it be? Your backpack would be for a disaster. Like I said, here I am in my basement. Tornado takes away my house. My basement's filled with water, and the gas line's ruptured, so the basement's filled with gas. Well, I got to get out of here. So what am I going to do? I got to live somewhere. My family's going to need some way to survive. And if my vehicle's destroyed and every road is impassable, like what happened in Joplin, Missouri, and some other places around here in Indiana, where am I going to go? Am I going to start walking? Well, no. This is my property. I can stay right here. I can keep my family safe. There's a hose in the backyard. There's, whatever I can scavenge from my house, I will probably stay right around here. But to stay around here, I'm going to need shelter, like a tent. I'm going to need a way to keep us dry, the covering above that. I'm going to need a way to purify the water I can find. I'm going to need a way to kill some squirrels to get something to eat. You see what I'm saying? So, if it's a disaster, this would be fantastic. Now, if it's after a disaster, something like what people went through in Katrina, where they then took the people and put them in the FEMA camp, so to speak. They put them in that Superdome. Are you going to need any of this stuff? Are you going to need to start fires in the Superdome? Are you going to need light sticks? Are you going to need a bow and arrow or a crossbow? Or yes, you know what? the way they treated some of those people in there, you probably would need a crossbow. But other than that, you're not going to need cord. You're not going to need traps. There's no way you're getting air guns in there. In fact, I don't think they're going to let you bring in a backpack. Could you bring a sport bottle? Probably. Could you bring your towels right there and some medicine? Yeah. Could you bring a pocket knife and stick a pocket knife? A pocket knife, not a monster like this. So all of this gear, if it was a disaster where you went to a shelter, they drove by in a truck and said, everybody get in the bus, we're taking you to a shelter, all this is gone. You can't use any of it. What you really need is a pack along with this with all your clothes items. Change of socks, change of underwear, maybe a change of shoes. Make sure you have some extra shoelaces. Warm clothes. A good wet gear. Like I have a great army poncho over there in the green bag. Covers your whole body. It's fantastic. It doubles as an emergency tent. Okay? Have some good rain gear. That kind of disaster where they're going to take you to a shelter, all of this is null and void. So you got to think about how you build a pack. Are you looking to build a pack because of what the internet says, that the army's going to come and take your guns, that there's going to be martial law and chaos? The safest place for you to be in a chaos situation is in your home. I was in law enforcement. My brother was in law enforcement. He was in the military. We've talked about this kind of stuff. It comes down to mentality. Would you rather be out in the street on foot with people trying to survive who want your gear and will kill you? Or would you rather be in the safety of your house? If you were out in a tent right now, you're walking along and you stop in the night and you get in your tent, who's going to keep your family safe at night when somebody comes along and wants your tent or your food or your pocket knives or your crossbow? Are you going to stay up all night? Well, then when are you going to sleep? How are you going to protect your kids during the day? You got to sleep sometime. Is you and your wife going to take turns all night? Or what if it's just you and your kids? Who's going to protect them? Being outside in a disaster situation, in a martial law situation, you name it, being outside is not going to be the place you want to be. The best place you want to be is in your home. Now, what if it was a martial law? And I keep hearing people say it's coming. They say they're going to get out of here. They're going to take off. Well, where are you going to go? You're going to run through checkpoints. And if they say turn around and go back, or they say, no, you're coming with us, get in the truck, or they go through your truck and they say, hey, look at this. You got food. You got weapons. We're taking your gear. Again, is it smart to leave your home in a situation where when you get outside, someone's going to take it? The military is going to take it. The police are going to take it. They might need it. They might say, we're commandeering your vehicle. We're taking your blankets here. You got blankets? We're cold. We need it. Turn around and go back home. So you know what? In any of these situations, majority of the time, you're probably safer at home. Now, if you're escaping the city because it's going to turn into a war zone, I fully understand. But then again, would you be safer in your home that you could put boards on the windows? Or are you safer living out in the woods somewhere? In a tent, in the cold, without any water, without any food? Are you going to be able to provide for your family and keep yourself safe? Are you going to be able to get any sleep? Are you going to be comfortable? The way we live right now, how are you going to do your dishes? We have a dishwasher in our house. We have a clothes washer. We can just go into the pantry, get a can of chicken. We can go get another roll of paper towels. What are you going to do out in the woods? How are you going to survive? If you have everything you need in your house, you could board up your windows and you don't have to leave. You could stay right here. Somebody knocks on the door, you say, I got a weapon, I'm not afraid to use it, back off. So when you make your kit, be logical, be realistic. Remember, the majority of the reason why you would have a bug out bag like this is to give yourself some way to survive if you had to. And if you have to, have the best gear you can so you can make it. Make sure you got somebody you can rely on to watch your back. Make sure you and your wife have a good plan already made out as to what would happen. Or whoever you're with, your friend, your buddy, your spouse, whatever. Make sure you have a good plan. Make sure you're not going to walk outside your door, get 10 blocks down the street, and someone's going to shoot you in your head and take your gear. So just think about that as you're building your kit. Think about what's the most important thing you need. Water, food, shelter, heat, some way to purify your water. and check back with me. I will probably have